Hello and welcome to Long Story Short Q&A. My name is Katie, and today the question that we're going to be exploring is, were Adam and Eve real people? I'm joined with Jared Riseborough. So Jared, what do you think?
Yeah, the Bible seems to be clearly saying, if we take it at face value, that Adam and Eve were real people and the actual parents of the human race. So in Genesis, the first book of the Bible, it shows us that the first human couple had a family. That family then grew and eventually became clans and then nations. But it all began with Adam and Eve. And a lot of the other biblical writers clearly seem to believe that Adam and Eve were real people and the first couple from whom the entire human race has descended. So for instance, Luke, who's one of the gospel writers, in his gospel he records Jesus' family tree and traces it all the way back to Adam. So obviously he believed that Adam was the very first person in history and a real person in history. Then you look at Paul, who's one of the most prominent actually, New Testament writers. And so in Acts 17, one of his sermons, he said that all of the nations of the earth were formed from one man, Adam. And then in 1 Timothy 2, verse 13, he writes that for Adam was formed first and then Eve. Then Jesus himself in Matthew 19 shows that he clearly believed that Adam and Eve were real people and also the first people in history. So why does it even matter whether Adam and Eve were real people and also the first people in history? Well, it has to do with the way that things are now. Have you ever wondered why history is just littered with so many bad, sad, terrible things? Why we're always treating each other so poorly and doing wrong to each other? Well, the Bible says that that's because there's a problem deep within all of us. When Adam and Eve first disobeyed God, then something clearly changed deep within them. It was like they had a bent towards wrong, and the Bible calls that sin. It had become their default setting, and the Bible says that this is now a part of all of us ever since Adam and Eve throughout the entire human race. It's almost like it became an infected trait, like a disease that was passed on from one generation to the next because we're all descendants of Adam. So our very real problems stem from one very real person, the first person on the planet. And ever since Adam, the heart of the human problem is the problem of the human heart.